Hey everyone, Charlene Bauer, Ladies Off-Road Network, and welcome to Live at 5. We're going to go dirt bike riding today. Woo, woo! Yes, so I got to go dirt bike riding for the first time in years, I think, just about that, this last weekend. So that is the big story of the night tonight. I'll tell you about it later. This is actually a video from 2011, one of our big long family trips that we did. And then I have a couple other videos, and then we'll have to talk for a minute, and I'll have to like rewind and put the videos back on again. But anyways, that's the bike I was riding this weekend too. So I know, I'm just so excited. I'll come back to that in a minute. Big news, well, or regrouping news, really. Let's throw some hearts down. We're going to talk about the workshop tomorrow night. It's a big one and different. There's only one session. We're going to talk about Impulse Off-Road, June 26th to 28th. I need your help, ladies. We're going to talk about the Step 22 giveaway. I got some goodies right here, and then more about that. Our Impact Program challenge is out and about, and then of course I will talk about this last weekend's Moto story, because we all like to laugh, and Charlene definitely has a laugh about this weekend. You guys are gonna get, hopefully, a kick out of the whole thing. It was pretty intense. Oh, look at that, that's me. That's the same helmet, same bike, same everything. Crazy. Do I look different? Maybe a little bit. I don't fit in that gear anymore, I'll tell you that for sure. All right, so anyways, let's stick to positive things. Tomorrow night is our workshop. Our workshop is about lockers. Cora from Torque Master is going to be our guest, and props today. We did like a little test run. So I got to see the props today. I love them. It's going to be so interesting for her to explain all the different kinds of lockers that are there and the pros and cons to each one, because there are pros and cons to each style of locker. Before she comes on, I'm going to give you the rundown, the breakdown on the entire axle status. So everything that's in the axle, so that locker makes a little bit more sense as she's saying this, and this. And then at the end, after she's done explaining all about the lockers, I'm going to come back in and say, okay, now this is when you want to turn your lockers on, and this is when you want to turn your lockers off, all right? Or this is when you use fronts, and this is when you use rears. So we will dig into that topic as well tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow is different. It is different. We are only doing one session, just one, and it is from 5 to 7. Now, I'm already seeing everybody is really excited to come on and join us. I'm anticipating that we're not going to end right at 7. I think it's going to go maybe about a half an hour over. This is what I think is going to happen. So I would just be prepared, if you're listening tonight, to schedule a little bit more time at the end in order to stick around. I think we're going to have a lot more Q&A than normal, just because of the amount of people that are on, and we want to make sure we get all of your questions answered. Now, big deal is you need to register, right? So you need to register. LadiesOffroadWorkshop.com is the way to get to that red box that has the link on it for you to register. That will then get you into our system, and we'll send you an automatic email with the link to Blue Jeans. Once you do that, then you're ready to rock and roll. I'll send you that link again tomorrow just before we go live, so that you have it at the top of your email. And you guys are going to kill me if you're late, because I'm going to have a ton of people I'm going to have to text. So come in early and hang out and chat for a few minutes, all right? So we'll fire it up about 15 minutes early so you guys can come in and chat. We can start getting people checked in, and then we will get underway right on time. 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's tomorrow night. I can hardly wait for that. That's going to be fun. Holy guacamole, I don't even know where the month goes, but next week we are already doing our giveaways. So we have the Impact and our main giveaway next Tuesday night already, ladies. Have you registered yet? Have you already gone in and signed up for the giveaway? And who's made an impact on you. This is a really big program. I really want to keep it around. Think about who's made an impact on you maybe in this last month. Now remember, it doesn't have to be face-to-face. It's not always about being face-to-face. There's also the impact of somebody online, or somebody reaching out to you, or somebody encouraging you in some form, fashion, or way. So think about the differences and the opportunities that somebody has made an impact for you. Now these two are right next to each other. The giveaway and the impact is right next to each other. So if you're going in to do your giveaway sign in, you can also just as easily go in and do your impact. Impact is also maybe something that you did. So maybe you did something really special and helped somebody or made an impact on somebody, and that could be something that you can talk about. I made an impact on somebody this last weekend while we were out dirt bike riding, and so maybe that's something that I could put down, right? How you help somebody else be successful, like that poor pig. Not close to a pig. Anyways, so that is the impact program. Anybody else getting distracted by this already? Because I am. I love it. This is Soldier Meadows, one of my favorite places to ride in Nevada. All right, then we have our giveaway. So the giveaway is step 22. Here is our giveaway. So it's step 22. We have the 30-foot by 2-inch recovery strap, the nylon straight pull. We have a 4-foot anchor strap, 2x2. We have the silent piece. We have the jack cover for the high lift, and then the red straps. Okay, so these red straps go around your recovery straps to hold them together so they don't just like bonsai off and do all kinds of crazy things. And then you have your different kinds of straps. I brought a couple of things with me here. Here, let's just pause that for a minute because I know you guys really want to watch that, not this. So this is one of the step 22, the step 22 jack covers. These are really cool. So we talk about high lifts, right? And where to mount your high lifts. So you want to mount your high lift on the outside or on the inside. Depends, that's up to you. There's all kinds of different options. But what this does is this now protects that high lift. What's one of the main challenges that we have with our high lift when it comes time to actually using it? The walking gears are stuck, right? Something is stuck in the middle. So this doesn't keep all the debris out because that would be a lie. But let's say 80% or more of the debris away from those walking gears, away from all of the moving pieces that is within the high lift, so that it can stay clean and active. This also, and that's especially if you start on the outside. If you start on the inside like I do, it also protects your vehicle. So you're noticing how these scuff marks right here is actually the protection of my vehicle from the high lift attacking it. So this is a great opportunity for you that have a high lift. This is the other piece that you'll get. This is the silent, what do they call it? The silent piece, the silent jack. And this goes down over the high lift between the bar and the high lift body itself. And it keeps it from rattling, right? Bing, 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 because you're going down the road with the bar hitting up against the walking pole. So this goes right down over the top. There's another piece that gets down just a little bit longer. And now your high lift doesn't make all kinds of fancy noises. So those are those two pieces. And then here is our 4-foot anchor strap. If you guys are in the trail training classes last year, you've had your hands all over this bad boy. So you know and what it looks like. It's not that big, but it can go around a tree, it can go around a vehicle, it can go around a roll bar, it can go around all kinds of things. Adam at Step 22 has been very kind with his time and being on these workshops. So we have 2 workshops that he has already done. And one of them is all about the strength ratings. So the WLL and the MBSs. All right, pop quiz, ladies, for everybody that was on those classes. Everybody tell me, what does WLL stand for? Type it out. What does WLL stand for? All right, next pop quiz. What does MBS stand for? MBS. Write it out, ladies. WLL and MBS. What does it stand for? All right. Good job. And then we also learned about polyester and about nylon, right? Polyester and nylon on the ropes. So the good news is we're not going to dig into that right now. We got Camille cutting video from that particular episode right now of the e-workshop. So that will be up this week and you guys will be able to dig in, and nobody is going for it. Nobody's going for what WLL is or MBS. Really? Really? All right. WLL, working load limit. Working load limit. And MBS, minimum braking strength. WLL, working load limit. MBS, minimum braking strength. All right? So you have your WLL and your MBS. Your WLL is your smaller number than your braking strength. That's your main number. And then you divide it, and that gets you your WLL, working load limit. Math, a lot of it. So that's going to be in the toolbox here very soon. And then Adam also spent some time with us and talking about how to properly wash all of your recovery gear as well. So that is another one. Here we go. We're back. I know you really just wanted to see this, so I didn't want to block it. Anyways, there is the giveaway for this month, and you only have one more week to make sure that you are signed up. One more week. Copy? Copy. All right. Step 22 giveaway, impact. One more week to sign up and make sure that you get your name on those lists and in the bowl for next Tuesday. The workshop is tomorrow night, so we need to make sure that you get signed up for that. We also, in giveaway, remember we have Coyote deflators and we have the Crawl and Trails magazines as well. So just remember that those are also in the monthly giveaway process as well. All right, on to Impulse Offroad. Let's do this one next. So confirmed. We're doing it, ladies. We're on. John says, yep, bring it on. Let's have some fun. So June 26th to 28th in Salt Lake City, I need bodies. I need hands. I need hands that want to play. I need hands that want to work and work on Frankie. We only have a very short 2 days, 3 days to get the job done. And there's a lot of parts that I am bringing in that need to get installed. For sure, a bumper, for sure, some other great things I can't tell you about yet. So I need hands. We're looking for maximum is 10. Max is 10. But probably minimum 5. So if you're flying in, flights are cheap. Probably the safest place to be is on an airplane right now. Not to be awkward, but yeah, so you can fly in and we will arrange the best method of staying together. If that decides to be into an Airbnb, if it decides to be in a hotel. I'm working with the group that is going to Albuquerque this week, so we can start figuring that part out. So I really need everybody that is going to be interested in being a part of this to start telling me that you're interested in being a part of this, so that we can really get nailing it down. All right? It's going to be a lot of fun. This is what gets Frankie ready for the summer, gets it ready for the tour, gets it ready to come out and play with you guys for the year. So this is a big deal, and I love it that you are doing the work. I think that it's really fun. And the guys at Impulse Offroad are awesome to work with. They love to teach, and they love to be a part of it. So there'll be a great experience all the way around for that day. We have not decided when we're going to restart, or if or when we're going to restart the Arizona build. So if you were really looking forward to a build experience, this is your ticket. Please get invested into this so that you can come and be a part of that build experience, okay? I don't know when the Arizona one is going to fire back up, so I want to make sure that you're on task with that. The dates again are June 26th to the 28th. This is on our homepage, ladiesoffroadnetwork.com. The long link is 2020-impulse-offroad-takeover, but it is on the homepage as well. And of course, you guys will get it tonight. All right. Mary, that's a great question. We're in the 2020s, so we just let it be what it wants to be, depending on the day and who's doing what they're doing. All right. Yeah, so that is Impulse Off-Road. So we're watching dirt bike videos. Oh, we just watched me crash. That was funny. So we're watching dirt bike videos right now because I'm going to tell you about my ride this weekend. We are doing the workshop tomorrow night, 5 to 7, or 5 to 7 with Pacific, which is 8 to 10 Eastern. Only one session tomorrow night. On lockers, we have Cora from Torque Masters. Impulse Off-Road, June 26th to 28th. I need your help. I need your help. This is a big one. Step 22 giveaway and the impact program is next Tuesday already. Make sure you get your name in. All right, challenge is next on the list. I love everybody posting. I got my bag for the challenge post. I love it. What you guys haven't seen is what I have seen. I've seen Kathleen and Karen have sent me pictures of their package where the paint has exploded in their package, and boom. So Kathleen's everything is like a very fluorescent orange, and Karen's everything is like a John Deere green, as she called it. She's like, good thing my everything is kind of green because my clip is already pre-painted in green. And Karen or Kathleen was the same way. She's like, yeah, my clip is like pre-painted in orange. Everything else is fine. And I'm like, oh my gosh. They sent me these pictures and I called them just laughing because I didn't know what else to do. Like, it was really an awesome picture of all of it just like exploded. And yeah, like I didn't even think about it. Oh, maybe we should put the paint in a that would be really intelligent. So luckily, I'm very thankful that both of them are awesome. They're both like sourcing the couple things, so nothing really too big, but that they needed to clean up and get changed. And I'm like, yeah, just think about your koozie. Like, you got the ultimate custom koozie with the colors on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So if anybody else's paint exploded, I require a picture. And then I'll get a great laugh out of it. You'll get a great laugh out of it. We'll figure it out. If I need to send you a new package, I'll absolutely do that. So yeah, this is fun. Now we're going to go into King of the Moto videos from King of the Hammers, and then I'll have to stop it and we'll go back to the other one. But you're going to want to watch that first video with my family with the audio because I voice over the entire thing, so it was pretty fun. Anyways, that's the challenge packages, and I'm glad everybody should have gotten them by, I'm going to say today. Tomorrow at the absolute latest if one got kind of delayed. So if you didn't get it, just let me know and let's work through that as well. The biggest thing is getting the pen in for the first one so that you can finish challenge number 1. I've already gotten 2 challenge number 1s in. I love it. Hearts to that. I love seeing your pictures. And just before we went live, I pushed the send button and you guys got challenge number 2. So challenge number 2 has been launched up online, so you can go and jump on that and start getting going on your story. We've been talking about you doing your story for a long time. This is no surprise to you. You know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what to do. Zero surprise. But there is some detail in there, especially with the 800 words, especially with how to do the photos. There are videos in there, it explains everything. And hopefully, if you have any questions, I can answer them. But there shouldn't be any. Your story is your story. I did give you the link to the other people's stories from the past. But what I don't want you to do is get so caught up on reading everybody else's story that you don't write your own. I want it to be your own. I want it to be you. I want it to be like what's about you and what matters to you. All right? All right, so that's the challenge. You guys are going to get started. Now that we've got these two out there, you're going to start getting inundated with challenges, because that tells me you know how to get into everything. We started it up slow so that people didn't feel overwhelmed with getting into the computer section. I'm going to check in with everybody, make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get in and has done something. And then, shabam, 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 we're going to high foot it for the next couple weeks and get you a whole bunch of them so that you can organize your own timeline, because they won't be due for a while, but at least you can make sure that you're focused on them. All right? So that's that. That's my dirt bikes. Of course you do, right? Of course you do. Yeah, so that's my list. Tomorrow night's workshop, get signed up, Impulse Off-Road, June 26th to 28th. Come help, please. Step 22 is the giveaway impact program. Challenge packages are out. You should have them. And challenge number 2 just got released this afternoon. And now we're going to fast fire releases here over the next couple weeks. All right, are you ready for this? Let me get comfy in Grandma's chair in order to tell you this story, because it is highly entertaining. You guys like story time, so that's pretty much what tonight's all about, is story time. Well, I got a dirt bike. I didn't get a dirt bike. That same dirt bike that was in that video is the same dirt bike that showed up to my house a week ago, with my brother fully prepping it, ready to rock and roll, ready to ride. And I had another one here that I flipped out and sent back home with him so that he could work on it and manage it. So I've had a dirt bike in my garage for a week. I kind of gave that up last Tuesday. I couldn't hardly stand it. But we also had a group of friends that were ready to go riding, and we had put this ride together for this weekend, this camping trip together for this weekend, and we all wanted to take stuff. So we wanted to take dirt bikes, we wanted to take our mountain bikes, we wanted to take all of our cool toys and go camping and do all these things. Okay. Sounds easy, right? And then I'm like, well, how am I going to camp? Am I going to camp in my truck? Am I going to camp in a tent? Or am I going to take the beef? This is step 1, right? Well, the beef has been at Arizona RV Salvage getting worked on since pretty much King of the Hammers. There's no point in me bringing it home. We were picking away at big projects and small projects and getting it all up to snuff. And so it's just been gone. So I'm like, well, I could go get the beef and take it. And I'm like, you know what? Yep, that's what I'm going to do. If we decide where we're going to go has enough space for the motorhome, I'm going to go get the beef and I'm going to take the motorhome. And that's the plan. I mean, I have the thing. Use the thing, right? Camping is camping. So I go get the beef early last week. That's step 1. Camille and I go. You guys must have seen the Jeep here don't care post. So that's why the beef came home last week. Some of these things are going to come together now. And you guys know I don't always tell you what I'm up to. So that was the first thing. Then the second thing was, okay, how are we going to get all the dirt bikes up there? Because everybody had their own set of challenges. And I'm like, well, I'll put all of the dirt bikes on my trailer, because that'll be easy. We can do that. I mean, the trailer's huge, so we can put all the dirt bikes on there. It won't be a big deal at all. Until there's nothing to push the second layer of dirt bikes up against. So the first layer of dirt bikes is fine because you have the railing right there, but then the second layer of dirt bikes, how do you tie them down without them rolling forward and the front wheels sliding out and all kinds of things? So anyways, I went and got the 5 dirt bikes on Thursday night, put them on my flatbed trailer. One of them was like falling over before I even got home, like the 5 miles home. And so I put them in the backyard. And Friday, after I was done working, I'm like, okay, I need to load my bike on there and fix this whole setup. So Friday afternoon, okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Friday afternoon, I'll come back to the other story in a minute. And this will also predetermine my personality for Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon, here I am, 100+ degree heat in Phoenix. For anybody that's wearing a beanie right now, that is not the way it is here. And I am out in the front yard by myself, cussing. I'm gonna go with it. I was cussing like a sailor. I had to turn these little bikes around that were on the back row. I had to figure out how to do it better, which I did. I totally won. I totally won in the whole game. And I got everything like tied down. My neighbor was helping me. But it was also help but not help, you know, kind of one of those things. But it was helpful because at least there's another like hand there to hold it. I'm like, just hold this here so it doesn't fall. So, oh my gosh, what should have taken 10, 15 minutes in order to just put my bike on took over an hour to kind of reset this whole second row of dirt bikes. And I'm like, last thing I want is for them to fall off while I'm doing it, right? Or fall off while I'm driving up the road. So there's that. Earlier in the morning, I hadn't even gone into my gear bag. Like, I haven't been in my dirt bike stuff for over 8 years. Like, I'm open about it. I haven't been in my gear bag. And so I'm like, I wonder if anything's even going to fit. And of course, it's Friday morning and we're leaving. I'm leaving. So I go out to my gear bag and I open it up and I start looking and I start trying on this. I'm in the backyard. Like, who's going to see me, right? So I just start trying on this pair of pants and I'm like, damn it. And I put on this pair of pants. And I'm like, nah. So finally I find like the super fat kid pair of pants that I used to wear with 2 pairs of long johns underneath that actually fit. And I'm like, oh, this makes me feel really good right now. So yeah, so there's that. That rolled into the afternoon process of loading the bikes, plus loading the motorhome, plus getting everything ready to go. And it's hot, and I'm frustrated, and a lot of other things. And I wanted to leave first thing in the morning when it was cool, and that wasn't happening. And so I think I leave at the hottest part of the day, like 4 o'clock, because that's always intelligent. But don't worry, we're going up to the cooler weather. Up, 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 up. All uphill. All uphill. So going uphill, we're going up to Flagstaff and driving the motorhome with the trailer. Everything's going good. Cats are under control-ish. Everybody's under control. The bikes aren't falling off. Everything is going good. And we're headed up to Flagstaff. Up, 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 up. And all of a sudden, I hear this beep. And it's a beep I've heard before. So I'm like, oh, I know what that is. And so it's the like a air leveling system. Like when you park and you level your motorhome, it does it with air on mine. And so I heard the beep go off and I'm like, well, that's weird. So I know how to fix it. You manually retract it. And so I press the manual retract button. And then all of a sudden I look in my mirror and the whole back half of the motorhome is on fire. Like all smoke. Full-on smoke, full-on everything, everywhere. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me right now. I pulled off immediately because I hang out at the Arizona RV salvage with all kinds of burnt down motorhomes. Like, this is all I see every time I go over there. I don't see new pretty ones. I see burnt down ones, right? So I'm like, oh my God. So I pull over immediately. I ran back to the door. Luckily, that fancy, those fancy fire extinguishers that I just used on Wednesday night, I had put both of them right at the door and to then put away. So they were right at the door. So I grabbed both of the fire extinguishers from Wednesday night. I run to the back of the motorhome going, what am I even going to do, right? Like, is this even going to be helpful? But it doesn't really matter right now. I'm out. Am I supposed to get my cats? Am I supposed to get my purse? Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm by myself in this big old thing. So I go back and luckily there was no fire. No fire. No fire. No fire. A little stressful though. And so I look and see what's going on. And there is red fluid dripping onto my exhaust. Red fluid dripping onto my exhaust. And that is what made this huge, like all this smoke, right? Red onto the exhaust. Well, red is transmission fluid. And the transmission pan was right next to it, and there's nothing wrong with it. So then I started looking around a little bit more, and the inner driver tire of the duals had shredded just enough and had popped something up in there. So I called my RV guy and I'm like, hey, help me understand this really fast. Help me understand what's going on. And of course, it's Friday night at 6 o'clock, right? And this is the kind of friends I have, like they answer the phone. I dropped a pin. Actually, I did this first. I dropped a pin and messaged it to him. And I gave it like 1 minute and then I called him. So he knew I was on the side of the road somewhere. And I'm like, okay, help me understand this really fast. Help me understand what's going on. And so we kind of walked through it all, and we got another one of the guys on there. And so it actually turned out to be the air leveling system uses red transmission fluid as well in its system. So it luckily didn't hit anything that was ultra important. We can fix that. We can fix that. But then I still had a flat tire. So I had to understand what I needed to do. And of course, what do we do, ladies? I'm super guilty right now. We're just going on a local trip. I'm not going to take my spare. So my spare was sitting at home an hour away, hour and a half away. I had a buddy that was coming up, and he's like an hour behind me. So do I send him back to go get it? Or do I just call the tire company and get a new one? And so I called the tire company and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I'm trying to drive slowly, at least to get somewhere safe. So I ended up having a mobile repair tire guy come and put a brand new tire on the side of the road. It was awful. While I was waiting for him, I had dinner. That's the good part about having a motorhome. And while he was putting it on, my friend caught up to me, which was also perfect because now it's dark out. So it's already hard to navigate this whole thing to begin with. And then to navigate it into the middle of the woods in the middle of the night in the dark, not the easiest thing. So luckily, this actually like put a major calming effect on me. Is luckily he followed me the rest of the way, and then once we got to the turnoff, or just before we got to the turnoff, I had him pass me so he could then lead me in. He pre-ran the dirt section, came back and got me, and we parked the old Beeve in the middle of the night. Not in the middle of the night, it was like 9 o'clock, 9:30. It wasn't that late. It wasn't a typical Charlene 2 a.m. arrival. It was still somewhat of a decent hour. But yeah. So that's how that went down. So that's how the weekend started. So I got there and mixed a drink and put everything into its place. And we found homes for everybody and everything, and yeah, the Beeve was very well used this weekend. We had 2 cats, a dog, 2 guys, and me inside of it, and then we also had 4 more girls that were camping outside that came in and used the bathroom and everything. So it was quite the open door policy, and it worked out just fine. So then, anyways, what you really want to hear is about the dirt biking, right? All that other stuff is just pure comedy. But I think it's time to find the remote. Hold on, we're going to have to figure out how to do this. Yep, here we go. All right. We want to go to this. So if you guys missed the first video, you get to see it again. All right, cool. So yeah, so there's that story. So Saturday morning, and I'm giving you a lot of detail because there's also lessons to be learned in this, just like the fire extinguisher, right? I always have one right by the door. Having two right there was actually really convenient at that particular moment. So Saturday morning, I did something that you guys might not think about. And the friend that had followed me up the night before, he also knew how to drive big rigs. And so I asked him for some of his time, and I said, can you come in here for a second and let me show you around? And I showed him how to pull the slides in. I showed him where and how to start the motorhome, how to drive the motorhome, everything. Like, here's your buttons, here's where this is, here's what that is, here's where my purse is, here's where all of this information is. Because what happens if something happens to me, right? And I tell you guys this all the time, like when you're with your group, or if you're by yourself in your vehicle, in your tow vehicle, you need to have somebody that understands where your keys are and how to drive it or how to unhook it or hook it up. You know, if your husband is the one that tows all the time, that's cool, but guess what? If something happens to him, you need to be able to do it. So I showed him how to do all of this, and I think that that's really important because, hey, we're going mountain bike riding and dirt bike riding. Anything can happen, right? So know your scene. So we went on a dirt bike ride, or mountain bike ride first, and that was a ton of fun. Oh, look, there I am. Do I look kind of the same? That was 2011. 2011. Oh, 10 years ago. Wow. All right. Anyways, so we went on a dirt bike or mountain bike ride in the morning, and we're at like 7,500 feet. So of course I'm like breathing heavy, and I hate uphills to begin with. So I'm all about the downhills, but it's gorgeous. Like, you're in the pines. It's so pretty. Everything is so pretty. So that was a lot of fun. We did get to this one rocky section, and we had this lady that is kind of on the new side, and all the guys are like, just walk it. No, let me say this. One of the guys, her boyfriend, was like, just walk it, fiance. And I'm like, no, she can ride it. And some of the other guys were like, she can ride it. And so then, of course, the other guys are saying too much to, like, over exaggerate her head with all of this information of what to do and how to do it and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, shush, Christy, just keep the front end light, put your weight on the back, and go down the hill. You'll be fine. Just be fine. And so she did. She finally went for it. And I'll have to post the video at some point if I can. And it's just, she's so funny because as she got down to the bottom, there's a couple sketchy seconds, she's like, I got it! I got it! I got it! She's just screaming it. I love it. It was so much. It makes me smile when I heard it. And so, anyways, I had to tell you about it. Anyways, so then came the most anticipated moment of the entire weekend. Let's go dirt bike riding, right? Let's throw my leg over this dirt bike and see if I can still go dirt bike riding. Well, first we had to put our gear on, which that was entertaining, and I fit into the fat girl gear that I still had that I found. So that was that anticipated moment. But you know, there's a whole nother analogy to this. Do you have like an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend that, like, you have this fantasy of how awesome the relationship was before? Like, you're kind of stuck on it. Like, you know, you have this relationship with this guy, girl, and you're like, yeah, it was always awesome, and you're just always thinking about it, and you're always like, I just wish I had that relationship back. Yeah, well, that's kind of how I felt with my dirt bike. Like, I had all these great fantasies, all these great memories of being on my dirt bike and how awesome it was, and I was so excited to get back on it. And then the date came to actually sitting down with the dirt bike with that ex, and I'm like, oh my god, is it really gonna be the same? Is this actually gonna happen? Is this actually going to work, right? I had myself in such a mess. Like, it was totally all in the mind. I had myself in such a mess. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I actually going to be able to do this? Am I actually going to be able to ride this thing? Or is it just a fantasy? Like, I had a great time before, and there's no way that I'm not going to be able to do it now. Like, I don't know how this is going to work. And so I put my foot over the seat, and I'm like, okay, you're sitting on it now. Let's get it started, and let's do it now. All right, we got it started now. Actually, let's take some pictures. So we took some pictures. You guys saw the pictures. And now let's try and ride it. And so I ride it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I was just going up and down the dirt road right in front of camp. And I'm like, brop, 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 brop. And having all kinds of fun. I'm like, yeah, I remember this. Oh, I remember this pig too. Remember it from the last time? And I'm like, okay, I remember. I got this. Yep, we're good. And everybody's like, Charlene, what are you so worried about? Did you not just hear yourself go up and down the road right here? And I'm like, dude, it's a flat, straight, cheap road. Like, there's nothing on it. That means absolutely nothing. That means absolutely nothing until I get into the middle of a tube track, and I'm like, oh my God, can I do this right now? So yeah, so off we went. And Andy was our fearless leader. So it was Andy, and then his daughter Taylor, and Taylor is on a TTR 125, and she was killing it. And then there's me, who hasn't been on a dirt bike for 8 years, and then behind me was Wes, who hasn't been on a dirt bike for 18 years, right? So it's him and my first times out in years. He's like, no, go ahead, and Charlene. And I look back at him, I'm like, this is a no, what is it? A no judgment zone. No judgment zone at all. Like, you're not allowed to judge me at all on this. And he's like, okay. So off we went. We, of course, immediately went to the narrowest, rockiest, craziest trails that are out there. And I felt like a ping pong ball. There was nothing flowy about what I was doing. There was nothing gracious about what I was doing. There's nothing that was like, oh yeah, you totally got this. No, boom, 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 boom. Good news, hearts for this one, I never crashed. Taylor had some amazing crashes. It was awesome. I totally loved it. And I'm like, heck yeah, girl. And she did so good. Like, she got MVP of the weekend as far as I'm concerned for doing everything on the dirt bike. But that was a lot of fun. So I felt like a ping pong ball all over the place. I felt like my tires were just like not gripping. I don't know. I just felt a lot of things. So we came back to camp, and the next part was actually really cool too, because when we got back to camp, there's a 12-year-old there, and he had never ridden a dirt bike before. And so Andy took him out just right in front of camp and taught him how to ride it. So I sat out there and watched, and just to kind of listen to hear how Andy was doing it, but also because, you know me, like, I think that is so cool to watch a kid start off on his very first dirt bike and get your feet wet and get your feet underneath you and get ready to go. And so he was just like cruising up and back and up and back and up and back. And, you know, Mama Bear just kind of had an eye on him, just because that's what I do, as you all know. And all of a sudden, he's up at the far end for a long, long time. And I even mentioned it. I'm like, he's been down there for a long time. And I kind of just watched because, well, my brother and I have both walked back to camp before when our parents aren't watching, right? When nobody is watching. So I'm like, So I'm watching. I kind of watched a little bit longer, and then I see him do this. Like, he caught that I was looking, and he waved. And I'm like, all right, something just happened. Well, I had just put my flip-flops on, so I jump on my bike and I go down there with my flip-flops on. Not a good plan, but that's what I did. It's just right down just right there. And anyways, he had ran out of gas. So we got to learn how to put it into reserve, and got to learn how to kick it and how to like unflood it and everything. And he couldn't quite get it. His leg was getting tired from kicking it. So I got off my bike and kicked it with my flip-flop, and I'm like, oh, even these little bikes, Charlene, you know better than that. But we got him started and got him back to camp. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that as well. Saturday night, we had an amazing dinner. We had 9 people playing cards in the Beeve. For those of you who have been in there, that's impressive. We actually got a table in there, one of our big tables in there, and got all kinds of people around the tables to play cards. Yeah, so it was pretty fun. And then on Sunday, I just wanted to go on another dirt bike ride. I'm like, I can ride my mountain bike at home every single day, but I can't ride my dirt bike at home every single day. And I really need to get this itch. I really need to understand what's going on. So Andy Taylor and I went back out. Taylor was a little bit more tired today on Sunday, and so we still did just as rocky of single track as we had before. I'm like, really, dude, you couldn't find anything flowier? But we had a great time, and it was so awesome to get back on the bike. Still having all kinds of challenges with the tires flopping out and whatever, but whatever. So the interesting part about that ride was, as we were coming up to the end of that ride, I recognized that it was the same trail that we had been on the day before on our mountain bikes. So I'm like, oh, well, this will actually be really cool, doing the same trail that we just did on our mountain bike on the dirt bike and see the difference. Yeah, so let me tell you about the difference. The difference is going downhill is no different, other than you got a bigger tire on your dirt bike, right? Going uphill, let me tell you how much more pleasant it is on a mountain bike or on a dirt bike than a mountain bike. We went up this hill, and I remember specifically, we all met at the top underneath this tree, and we're like, out of breath. Everybody was out of breath. Everybody was angry. We were just all hanging out under this tree in the shade, and I rolled up to it on my dirt bike, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Just happy as a clam. Not out of breath, not anything, just, all right, let's keep going. And the rest of the ride from that point back, all the way back to camp, was all uphill also. It was like, it was the forest road, but it was all just like a gradual uphill. Oh my gosh, on the mountain bike, it was torture. It was like that gradual uphill, and you're like, are we there yet? And you're pedaling, and you're like, yeah, not on a dirt bike. Rob. And imagine this, we were back in no time flat. Oh my gosh. So that's the long version of an epic weekend. I'm really thankful to my entire group that went up there. We all camped. Every single one of us had a great time. There's nobody that came home without a huge smile on their face. Coming home, I had no issues with the Beeve. Andy and Tracy and their truck and trailer were with me, so we kind of did traffic together, cutting in and out of going up hills. And if you guys have ever, if you understand that, like, they can block traffic so then I can come out, and so we can keep momentum going. So that was really fun. But nobody died. Nobody crashed. We got a couple bruises. I got like 2 bruises right here. It's the weirdest part. I'm like, how did I get those bruises? Like, I have no idea how that even happens. But yeah, dirt bikes, they're back. They're here. You guys are going to get to hear more about them, I think. So I'm pretty excited about that. We've, yeah, that's that. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. And that is an epic weekend also, if you saw that. You guys are going to want to watch that with the audio on if you enjoyed this little story. So I didn't crash or die, so we did good. And we're ready to go back out on the dirt bikes. All right, that's all I got. What do you guys got? Do we want to, you guys got any questions for me? Do we have any business that we need to manage? We have the workshop tomorrow night, 5 to 7 Pacific, 8 to 10 Eastern. Cora from Torque Masters is going to be on. We're going to talk about lockers, axle components, and when to engage your lockers. That's all tomorrow night. Impulse Offroad is June 26th to 28th. I need hands in Salt Lake City. We're working on Frankie, and we got some great install things that you guys will be able to learn how to do. Next week is step 22 and the impact program. It's already the end of the month next week. Wrong one. I can't believe it. So we have the giveaways next week. Make sure that you guys get online and get those in. The challenge packages have been mailed and you should have already received it. Receiving it today, worst case tomorrow. If not, start messaging me. I did do tracking on all of them so we can help understand where it's at, or if we need to get you one or get you another one out right away. I have no problem with that. Challenge number 1 was released last week, so you have it, and you should be, I've already gotten 2 of them in. I'm really excited. And then challenge number 2 got released about a half an hour before we went live tonight, so you have it. Challenge 3, 4, and 5 are coming fast. So you're going to have some that are going to take a little bit of time to figure out when you're going to do it. So that's what's coming up next. Okay, that series is the ones that, hey, these are going to take a little bit of time. You need to schedule it. So let me give you the opportunity to get that under your belt. Yeah, that's what I got. And I saw Jo Marie got her question answered between Marissa and myself at the same time. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah. Anything else? What do we got? What do we got? Yes, no, maybe so? Who wants to learn about dirt bikes? Is that of any interest to anybody? I mean, at the end of the day, you're kind of learning about carbs and you're learning about air filters. It's all the same as in your vehicles as well. You just got to clean everything, right? I've got to go out and clean it. I got to get a pressure washer. Challenge 11. Yep, that's coming also right away because that's a timely one as well. Yeah, so now that we are on the gas, now that we got number 2 out, now they're going to start coming fast. I wanted to go slow in the beginning because I wanted everybody not to feel overwhelmed with all of the different programs that we have to get through. All right? So that is going to be, that's how that worked out. Everybody else is happy? Happy? All right. Well, with that being said, then I'm going to go back and get to work. We have another group of shirts going out. So we have another group of shirts going out. So all your shirt packages should be delivering by the end of this week if you haven't gotten yours already. So those are on their way. Lifetime member badges, shirts. If you didn't order yours yet, you need to get them ordered because I can now get those up and flowing as well. Jo Marie, the problem with writing workshop means we have to be together. Yeah, it's the problem with everything, right? So, sure, come to Arizona. I'll teach you how to ride. But actually, I would send you to DA8, Destry Abbott, here in town, here in Arizona. He teaches how to ride dirt bikes. He does an amazing job. He has camps and he has all women's camps as well. I posted it, a few months back when he was posting about his all women's camp. So I would much rather you go and do that and learn from him on that edge of things. And then we can come and do the one-on-one and the maintenance and all of that as well with me. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there and I only have so much time. So I'm going to let everybody be successful at what they're successful at. All right, what else? But we are not social distancing in Salt Lake, and we still have 4 more spots left. I don't understand what this 4 spots deal is with our what is it? Wilderness First Aid. So Wilderness First Aid in Albuquerque, we still have 4 spots left. Hello, it's in 3 weeks. We are going, no matter what. So, Wilderness First Aid, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Get there. Salt Lake City, Ladies Offroad Network Takeover of Impulse Offroad to work on Frankie. Get there. Heck yeah. Hate to say it, but a plane is probably the safest place to be right now. Probably safer than Walmart. That's my thought. Anyways, that's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. You can do what you do what you need to do. But flights are cheap. Just saying. All right, ladies, I am going to peel out. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed the background. Go to Bauer Media's YouTube channel, and the dirt bike group is right at the front, right at the top right now, because I just created it. So it's going to be right there at top, that you'll be able to watch these videos with audio, so you can get like the brop brop bropping sounds in the background. And yeah, I hope that story was highly entertaining. For those of you that tell me, hey Charlene, you need to go do things for yourself, and you need to go on trips, and you need to do things for yourself. Yeah, well, there you go. That's how a trip by myself goes. I blow out a tire, I almost burn the coach down, there's dogs involved, like all kinds of crazy happens. But I get to ride my dirt bike, and we live happily ever after. I didn't even open my laptop. I opened my laptop once for 10 minutes. That was it. I know. I had some people angry at me that they didn't get a text or email back. And I'm like, y'all are telling me I need to be doing what I do. All right, say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to get back to work. I got to catch up for those couple days offline. All right, I appreciate you all. No, we did not die. We're still doing good. Piston was super happy. He was super happy. Oya was super happy. And of course, they only like hung out in the motorhome for 2 days, 3 days, whatever, and they are exhausted. They're exhausted. It was ridiculous. All right. Good night, everybody. I really appreciate you. Ladies Offroad Network is so awesome. You guys are so awesome, and we're having a ton of fun with these workshops. Can't tell you what's gonna be next week. All right. Bye, y'all.